Hey, we live. Lowrider Aftermath. Man, you kind of looked a little nervous on the other end over here for some reason. He's twiddling the thumbs, and he's not the real Riz that we know right now.
Nah, I don't. I asked the questions, man.
You asked the questions. Today we putting you on not the spot, but we're talking about autism and the awareness.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the month for that, and we were gonna have a guest on here, but unfortunately he wasn't too shy to come in. He just I gotta ease him into it because I know they're it's a challenge for both parties to try to understand, and it's tough. It's tough. I do have to give it to you. So again, man, you're going to introduce yourself to the people so they know who you is and what you do. And we know who you are, but still let them know.
All right. So on the show, on the other shows, I'm Rizzy, but currently what I do for a profession, right? I work at a school for children with autism, and I'm Darrell. Pretty much, man, outside of like cars and all the other stuff I like, this is like my life. Like, this is my actual career. So I've always helped people. I've always just been around, whether you had autism, whether you had disabilities, or maybe just, man, I got a halfway shelter in my house right now. You know what I mean?
I bet. I heard the phone calls, man. I heard on the other ends back there, man. So, and you do enjoy the low riding stuff because I know you just acquired a vehicle here that you're working on, and you're gonna get out on the streets and you're gonna do the whole hydraulic things.
Oh man, I want to leave it regular, but I don't.
Everybody said that.
Yeah, and then that was a car that I acquired from
for myself.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I've been getting phone calls on it like, man, why you do that, man? I'm like,
hey, man,
I gave it to my boy, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad it went to a good place, man.
And it ain't going nowhere. I don't get rid of anything.
So
it's good. I'm telling you, I go in the garage. I just
you show the kids at the school.
I haven't.
When you get it all done,
Well, as soon as I'm about to just do a tune up and then fix everything on the engine so I can drive it without it having to do it. Well, it drives fine. You know what I mean? But I just want to get that going good. Probably this weekend. Hopefully, I can get all that done, and then they've been asking. I'll drive it to work. Oh yeah.
Work on your own damn car, man. Tell it. Man, everybody has their ideas and their opinions.
Like I come from a family that's we were less fortunate. We're still less fortunate, right? So now that I got that, I have other family members like, hey man, so what you gonna do with that other car? I'm like, oh, that's my daily car. I need this car. They like, well, I mean, you just bought a car. I'm like, I can't drive that every day. Like, I'm not going and grocery shopping and leaving my car in the parking lot.
You might not come out and we might not be there.
Yeah, I might not be going grocery shopping. But
that's cool, man. I'm glad we get to see both sides of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? What you do like that. And again,
for sure.
Working this month, I'm familiar with you. My nephew, he's autistic. Man, but he's okay. Yes, they have whatever you want to call them. It shouldn't even be a label for anything that's anything. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm aware that they have to say this is what they have and a condition that they have or whatnot. But dude, some of these kids are so freaking talented in other things that you would not even expect them to be talented, or you're just like, your IQ is what? You know what I mean? It's just like, holy shit. Like,
Man, it's crazy because I have a lot of artwork in my house that students over the previous years have drawn me and made me. One of my most memorable pictures is one of my students. She knows I like J. Cole, and she literally drew me a picture of J. Cole, like off of one of his album covers, and like she gave it to me at the last day of school a few years ago. I'm like, what? She's like, oh, Mr. Darrell, this is for you. I know you like J. Cole, and like I got it in the frame hanging in my living room. Like it's a dope picture. I have a lot of artwork from a lot of them can draw, man.
You hear that? Again, we was at a show this weekend, a Pitbull, a great show, man. There was a lot.
Yeah, I left a little early because I had a whole nother thing to go. I went to a whole wedding. Like,
you had a wedding? Man, yeah, there was a lot of dogs at that show and cars and lowrider and people. Again, these are everybody's collabing now and everybody's getting all together. And man, it seems like this lowriding is bringing everybody in. From awarenesses, from dogs to to family and
that
everything,
is
man.
it's crazy, man.
It is. It's cool. We're collabing big with them, man. It's good to see. It's good to see that community looked at in a positive way.
For
you know,
sure.
Back then, we can go back to when people used to cruise Central, and it was, you know, I don't know how long you've been down here.
I used my uncles
used to go out there.
My uncles used to cruise Central. I used to be in the cars.
It was like how, you know, they compare it to like Whittier and what they used to do in California, and that's why the cruising and all that got shut down. So I got a man coming on here. I'm gonna get him on here. His name is Jimmy Arbizu. He's from the Intruders, and they went to do the whole. It got turned down, the cruising bill or what, you know. And I don't know the whole logistics on that thing, but you know, it did get turned down. So they're still gonna try to appeal it or whatever. Again, they're gonna retry again, which more signatures or something is requirements or something like that. But they're still doing a cruise.
Politics.
So it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's what it is. You know, you know, it sucks. You know, it's shitty when there's no wrong being done. Like, what's wrong driving around circles? You know, you're the one wasting your gas. You're the one wasting your stuff and your time. But there's those Karens, or there's those ignorant people, like we call them on the show.
Well, my thing to them would be like, so you see lowriders, like the lowrider community, they cruise. We cruise. You up, down, a little hopping here and there, you know what I mean? Yeah. Which we try to limit that, and you know, but I've been to like side shows in like Oakland, and the shit that happens out there is insane. They're just doing donuts in the intersection, cars slamming into cars, knocking over street posts. I'm like, and this is stuff they're doing illegal. Like cops are coming, can't shut them down. Yeah, and those are
takeovers or something.
Yeah, and then when they
try to compare us, to.
And but they're giving the whole car community a bad rap. You know what I mean? Like I was watching some videos today. I'm like, why are you hanging out the car doing donuts? Right. All these cars are pretty much muscle cars, Euro muscle cars. But I mean, when the cops get behind them, they're not catching none of them. Like they're out of there. And then
it's crazy. It's crazy. I see it all the time. Like as the bloopers. When you got some dumbass standing there and he gets
get hit by the car, I'm always laughing.
10 feet, stands up, you know, you just got knocked on your ass. And you're probably going to hurt tomorrow, you know.
My thing is, why are you creating a barrier of people to stop a 2-ton vehicle? Like, are you insane?
Crazy shit as it is.
They got their front brakes on, but they're behind that rear wheel. They're doing like 100 and something miles an hour. You crazy. You can't pay me to go there.
We get a little. Not saying we get crazy, but when they're hopping, when the guys are hopping,
I don't see some crazy shit with hopping.
In the parking lot. This weekend, my boys, Majestic guys, man, there's a video on Facebook. You could probably search it. One of our girls got to Vanessa, and they were hopping the red car next to in a spot. And I told him, "Damn, I'm gonna move my bike. I know how his car goes.
I know where your bike was at.
Yeah, my bike. If you see the video, he was literally a foot away from our front end. Like he just came down. He knows how to control it. Which I know he knows what he's doing, and there's no worries behind this because, again, if you have enough money and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure you take care of whatever mistake is made, and you know what I mean. Shit happens. You know,
that's an expensive hobby, man.
It is, and you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out.
I see. I don't want
Mr. Lincoln over here. He's gonna find out too.
I'm not trying to. Hey, look, man. Simple lay and play. I'm not trying to hop.
See, did you hear that? See. Let's take. We should rewind. Cruising is not a crime. No, it's not. And we need to make that official.
Man, I need to put that. I'm gonna put that on a shirt.
Right. We got to get a shirt like that. Cruising is not a crime. You know what I'm saying? But
because
he said I'm not gonna do the hydraulic thing. But he said simple lay and play.
Yeah, I ain't really into hopping, man. Like not because like of the things that could break with hopping, but I mean just you know what I'm saying. I see some of these cars, man. Their frames fucked up. They don't even drive straight.
Oh, yeah, they look like pit bulls running down.
And I love cars. Like I love my car too much to just do that and just. I'm like, come on, can I just drive it? Like
expensive hobby, man. Expensive hobby.
It is. See, I don't want to hop. I just up down. You cool. You know what I mean? I guess if I had like a truck, I would bag it. Like if I got a C10, but I mean
they're nice. Yeah, truck's nice to bag. Keep them simple and stuff, but again, you always want to go to the next level on everything. Somebody else see like, man, I'm gonna do that shit to my car. You know, I'm gonna do this to what I got.
Man, I've been looking at all kinds of shit. I'm like, man, that shit look tight, and then I wake up like, man, that shit looks stupid. No, I don't do that.
I ain't doing it like that. That's cool, man. So between the two, not saying double lives. Again, we were at an event, and Mr. Durrell. When you hear that, you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, I just gotta
put my beer down or my drink.
Well,
again, we all have personal lives, and parents are aware
and
of
all
the
that
functions that they go to, and
yeah,
they want to see us.
I'm sure parents understand. Like every parent I've ever met when I'm out at these events, they never say anything, and
they not you doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
you're perfectly legal.
it's just
an adult beverage is perfectly fine at a function that
Yeah.
if they're selling any kind of beverages.
And I'm not quite sure, and like it doesn't matter technically, it doesn't matter, but the way I carry myself in my position where I work at is I hold myself to a certain standard. So anytime I intermingle these two paths together, I want to make sure that I represent myself as well as my school at a good standard. You know what I mean? At a high level. I don't. Yes, you see me with a drink, but you didn't see me belligerent.
No.
Yes,
never.
you see me.
Yes, respectful.
You might have seen
functional.
people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. There's people around me smoking, but that's legal and that's what people do.
Yep.
I can't control other people. You know what I mean? So
and unfortunately, it sucks, and it's just at the end of the day, we're human. We ain't doing nothing wrong. We respectful to others. I'm a smoker. I don't really do the drinking thing no more. I'll have a drink if somebody hands it. They're always handing me damn beer. I'm like you have to respectfully. Sometimes I decline, but if sometimes
my homeboy you see me with at the show, like that's my thing with him. Whenever I go with him, he gets way too drunk. I'm like, hey,
was that your cousin?
Nah,
not the one we met here. That was another cousin.
Nah,
another cousin.
He's I just known him for a long time, man.
We got those. We have all those in the family.
I'm always telling him about his drinking. Sometimes he can, well, not sometimes, he can never control it. And then when it comes to where we have to like settle it another way, I feel bad. And then I'll call him a couple weeks later. I'm like, hey man, you like 2 cases ago, I told you to stop. So that's why that on the day you see me, he was like, hey man, I don't want to drink no more. I'm like, that's good, because I didn't have nothing for you. Like, we're good. So when you came, you was like, hey, yo, Lyle, let me get one from my brother. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, but it's cool. He could have came and got more. I'm like, it's cool, because that means he's not just sneaking over there. Yeah. Gotta monitor that guy, man.
What's the age limit between it? You guys got it?
K to 12.
Really? You guys go all the way to 12th grade?
Yes, sir.
So you have a full range from kids to
high level, low functioning, high behavior, high magnitude behaviors. Like I do it all. Actually, I don't even teach. I'm the behavior coordinator, director.
Nice.
So I deal with all the students, aggressive, all of them, and I write those plans and do all those things and get these plans and
it's all motion. Different. They're all
every student's different.
Man. They're all. I've seen. I was at Walmart. Our lovely WalMarts. And I mean, parents have a struggle, and they have it's a task for them also to and it's hard for them, and we don't know as parents that don't have a child with a disability or any any kind of thing. So and he was pretty old. He was he had gray in the beard, so
he's probably like in his 20s, 30s.
Over, probably about maybe 30s to 40s, Mm-hmm. And he was saying it was Easter, and so his mom was like, "No, you're not getting." They took something of his was taken back to the store, and again, they are not stupid. They are not people. It offends me how some people look at them and they're like, oh yeah, you just don't know. You know what I mean? You just do not know their capabilities until you meet them, until you interact with them, until you see. And this dude was fully understanding of what he was doing, what they came to do, and he was like, she returned his stuff and she got the money back. He said, no, that is my money, right? And she's like, no, we're gonna give you money for Easter, which was a couple of days away. We're going to give you this money for Easter.
He ain't trying to hear that.
He was not trying to hear that. I mean, we had the whole store literally just, eyes on him, thinking he was going to hurt himself. He was going to hurt someone else, but he didn't. He threw a fit, but he threw a fit that he was a little loud. You know what I mean? That attracts attention. Some don't like loud.
Yeah, well, he has trouble controlling his emotions. That doesn't mean he was wrong.
No,
he was absolutely right for whatever she did. The way it sounds,
I told my wife the same thing as we were walking out. I said, "Hun," man, he knew exactly what was going on. And the mom was trying to play him for the full all the way. We were parked like one aisle over on the road, and I mean on parking, and he still got all the way to the car, and he made it.
Oh, he's standing
Mom,
his
you're
ground.
doing wrong. I'm not going to go with you. You're doing wrong. And I was just like, see, get in the car. You're not listening, and then other people, getting, and he finally seen other people to where he noticed that he was drawing a crowd.
Yeah.
So then he kind of caught himself, made himself aware, and then just got in the car and just shut up.
It's
so.
I have.
He was grown. He was a pretty grown,
I've
guy.
worked with adults, students. I've had students graduate, and I still, like, when I see them out, they recognize me, they know me. They hear everything, even if they're nonverbal. They hear everything, and they're able to communicate, whether they know sign or they use a communication board. They understand. So, like, when I'm working and I'm training people, because I also train, like when I'm training them, I'm letting you know, like, hey, I know you might have jokes or you might feel a certain type of way, but if they're in earshot of that and they hear that, you're messing with them. They understand what you're saying. So if they don't like you, they don't like you because there's a reason. Right. Like, I can go to every single classroom in my school, and every single student likes me. Every single student knows me. Nonverbal, not verbal. We got handshakes. I do that every single morning. I'm the first person to open and the last person to leave.
So they see you.
Oh yeah, I know all the parents. I know parents by the cars. Like, I do transportation, so when cars are pulling up, I don't even need to see. As long as I see the car, I'm like, okay, this is this student. And I've always done that for all the years I've ever worked. I'm there the first day of school to the last day. I don't miss any days at all.
Are you guys a fully functional school, like or a nonprofit, or is it like?
So we're a private school. So
you're a private school.
Yeah, every student that goes to our school,
state funded, or you guys get a private donations or
state
like
funded.
that?
Yeah. So they all get grants and things like that to go to our school. And then for those situations where students can't afford that, we accommodate. We do that. Hey man,
because high school, right? Man, that's a it's
not really about
K through 8, through 12.
Heck yeah. And then you can go to high school up until you're like 22, 23. So some of these kids are already 20, and our goal is to have them graduate and then go off to college. Like,
so yeah, I just seen, sorry to interrupt you, but I just seen on the news the other morning, there was a young lady that her sister is autistic, and she's through it and been through it, and they don't really have a job again, we see them in the workforce, but there's not really something for them
specifically for them.
Yeah, she's actually created a small business for them where she's hiring others that are and they're training. And I mean, man, you show them how to do something, and they adapt, and they communicate and learn, and it's great.
Heck yeah,
it's a great thing when they're to teach them, and like you say, to train, not training, but just to help them, assist them in growing, maturing,
Man, a lot of my students are so smart, man. Like they're intelligent enough to, sometimes I'm like, and the best thing I could tell you, if you don't know anyone with autism and you meet someone with autism,
I do. My nephew, I'm telling you, man,
don't treat them different. Like, I treat my students how I would treat my own child. Right. So when I'm talking to them, if I'm reprimanding you about something you done wrong, I speak to my daughter the same way. I speak to my son the same way. Like, this is how I'm talking to you. And a lot of them are smart enough to know that they can play that, like, okay, man, and then they can get
away with it.
But they don't do it with me because they understand. Like, I understand. Like, it's cool. I know you have a hard time focusing. That's cool. Your issue is focusing.
Right.
This is what I do for a living. Okay, you can do this. You just don't want to, and then you want to use that. You like, whenever a student tells me, like, God, you want me to do this right? It's because I have autism. I'm like, okay, if you can comprehend that and you're aware that you have autism, then you can do this work. Like, so don't. Yeah, I mean, but there's certain things they can and can't do, and that goes for everyone, man. I've had the cops called on me about, I'm countless a number of times being
parents
out
or
no from just being in public when we go on field trips, and some students go into certain behaviors, and I have to restrain them. I wouldn't say restrain,
some are physical,
but I have to use physical interventions to remove them from the area, so they don't hurt themselves or someone else.
Yes.
So in the middle of me doing that, people are like recording me, like, "Hey man, what are you doing? You stealing this kid?" I'm like, "Hey man, like, this is my job."
Yeah, this is, again, ignorant people. We call them ignorant people because they don't know until they are aware, and then if they're aware, they feel stupid in the end. You know,
I mean, I fly my colors everywhere for my school. Like if I'm at work, I got a badge, I got my shirt on, I got
fingerprint card. It's school.
I have strict. All that.
Yeah, and you know, school is strict, especially state involved stuff. People don't understand.
You know, I had a last time that happened to me was at a water park 2 years ago. One of my students, he was a high school kid and he likes women. And whenever he see girls' butt, he would just run up and slap him.
Oh wow!
So we're at the water park, girls in a bathing suit, bikini, like a mom. He ran up and smacked the hell out.
And the bad thing is, they're treated no different in the eyes of the law. You know, and unfortunately, they don't understand that. And there should be. I mean, I don't know if there is something. As far as
nowadays they say they're training cops to be able to deal with people with autism and kind of understand that situation. But for the most part, I don't believe they do, because I've had them come and they're super aggressive. I'm like, hey, hold on, you don't have to be that aggressive. Like you're invading his space. He has a problem with people being in his space. So talk to him. You know what I mean? Let's redirect him another way. And the cops, like, they were telling me, like, oh, you need to calm down. And that's when I'm what to do. Yeah. And that's when I'm left with a position to, like, well, I have to predict, like, if I'm at my job, or just even when I'm out, even if I'm not at work, if I see a person with autism, and something's going south, just because it's who I am, I'm stepping in. And I'm like, hey, this is wrong. And I mean, it's never failed me yet, but for the most part, like, they're not too happy about it.
Right.
Even in my neighborhood, I don't know, she lives like a couple blocks over or house over. I don't know where she lives, but she rides around on a bike, right? And I'm outside in my garage, and I'm usually kids pull up with their quads or whatever. Where I live at, they all ride dirt bikes and stuff, and I'm helping them change their oil, doing this stuff. And she's always riding by, and like these group of boys are like, oh man, that girl, she likes you, and they're like making fun of her. And then she finally pulls into the driveway, and I'm like, what's going on? And I'm just within her pulling into the driveway and her conversation with me when I greeted her, I'm like, when she left, I'm like, hey man, don't make fun of her. She has autism. I can tell.
Right.
Like, I know you guys think she's normal, because she's pretty normal, right? But there's certain things that
there's a characteristic.
Yeah, I can just tell.
You're already aware of it. Yeah, what did do? So, okay, here's my question. I'm going to be that guy to ask that question, because nobody asks the question. Yes, there's autism, there's Down syndrome, there's a few other. Is there more? Do you feel there's more focus towards other than, you know, autism, or there's more focus as far as, you know, I'm not saying like God, it wouldn't be schooling, because they both have different schooling, and they're both that's a whole total different schooling, right? Than your guys, or does that intertwine with your school also?
It does nowadays, because when I first started, they were all different, kind of broken up that.
They were all separate.
But autism, the spectrum is so wide now. So everything's falling under autism. Like, not like the way when I be going over and looking at like the stuff that's falling under, I'm like, damn, my little cousin, I knew he was little. I knew something was wrong with him. Like, yeah, I mean, he been in that back room his whole life. I knew, but back then there was no such thing as autism. Right. So
and then also on that note, so you're saying there's no such thing as autism, ADHD and all that stuff. When I was growing up, that wasn't even a thought, or that wasn't even you know, that's okay. He has this condition, or, you know, what if, you know, there's a lot of people that got in trouble back then that this wasn't, you know, is there again, that's with the law, is there something else that, you know, okay, identifies them, that again, probably we should have a police officer perspective also, because that would be something that they would counter with also, but say we do this, we do that, but some don't, you know.
Like I said, I heard they're being trained, and they have some cops out here that are like that are trained in that. But I mean, let's say a person that has autism is in a store, and they go into like a crisis behavior, and they start, and some of these kids are super strong, and they start like,
they strong.
They start
my
like
nephew, man, the little dude is strong growing up the whole time. My brother would he didn't get too physical, but he would get pissed off to where my brother would have to detain him, and my brother would just hold him. And I tried once, and I'm sure I was big too. I was 225, and I held my arms around him, and I tried, and it was not happening.
Most of them have no pain tolerance, and they can't control their strength. So when they get upset, they get upset. Like I spend a lot of my time repairing holes in walls and things like that. Like depending on what they do, like I just build a rapport with them to where even when they're upset, I can come into the room and they calm down.
Yeah, just your presence, they know. Okay, so that's like the guy. We were gonna have a young man here, him and his mom. They were gonna come on tonight. She's a part of K-Diff. That's a radio station that they do Wednesdays when you guys do your show, and they talk about a lot of stuff. But he's from our car club, and again, I'm working him here. He's coming. I'm gonna get him here. He's my dude, man. Sure. So I want his mom here. Again, to a part of the Lowrider community. You know what I mean? They don't understand. People don't understand that too. Yes, the other guys are our family there, and they love this. This dude, man, when he's with me, he's with me. You know what I mean? He's himself. I feel so comfortable around him, and when he's around me, that he's himself. That makes me feel that he's treating me no different. Because you know what I mean? Some of them look at us like, no, he doesn't. I'm not saying he doesn't really like my wife, but it's just she makes him nervous. I'm like, "Hon, get away," because he wants to be, that's my guy. Like when he's at the shows, where if you see him, Riz, you're gonna meet him. I'm gonna introduce you to him. You know what I mean? You'll be like, man, this dude. And then he's got a job. That's what I was gonna talk about with him. Like I know he works. That dude's like, no, I can't. We can't do low riding because I got to go to work. And again, that mentality and that thought process, that's great. That's what you guys build, and that's what you guys.
And that's my goal, man. Like right? I wake up every single day at like 4:12, bro. I'm leaving my house by like 5:15, 5:20, going to open up. I answer all the calls. I meet every student. I see all the parents. And I do this every single day without missing days for consecutive years straight now, just because this is something I love to do. Like just to see a student come in as a kindergartner and then graduate and then or just come in and not even be verbal and then gradually learn how to talk and start talking. I was a part of that. I helped that. I trained this. I'm here. Or parents that come and be like, hey man, well, on graduation day, they're like, oh man, like he likes you so much. All he talks about is you when you come in. I've had parents come in and say all kinds of stuff, man. That's rewarding for me. Right. Of course, I get paid, but that like the reward,
satisfaction for that is well worth. Yeah,
because I've worked at the school I'm at now, and at that time we were just opening up, man, and none of us got paid. So I was there. I worked 2 other jobs, and I was just there building this school, helping build this whole program we have going for free.
And what is the name? What is the name of the academy?
Autism Fits Academy.
And you guys are located.
We have our school on 51st and Cactus.
Nice. That's a good little town over there.
We just opened up our second school on Greenway and Tatum. Nice. That'll be starting this upcoming school year. We'll start that school and get that school up and going.
I work over there. That's like the PV. That's like the PV Scottsdale area. Yeah. Again, it's in every community that people don't. A lot of people try to keep the kids at home. Saying because they don't want to have any kind of interaction out, and they're trying to. But I see a lot out, and that's the thing. You got to work with these kids. Like you see a lot in the Lowrider community now.
I see a lot of my parents are there, man. Like
that's cool because you wouldn't expect them to like. I mean, they like their things, but man, you like that car, and they know what those cars. Again, my nephew, history is like everything to my nephew, man. You can ask him this, and you're like, well, they don't teach you that at school. Like I know what they're teaching in school now. Hell, the kids don't even do cursive anymore. Everything's type. Cursive is.
So how do you sign your signature though without cursive?
Yeah, right.
So like
my son signs, and it looks like he's a high school graduate, and it looks like chicken scratch. I'm like, what the hell is this kid?
Like my daughter, I teach her how to do it. I have students in my school that are doing cursive because I mean, like if we're gonna teach, we're gonna teach. We're not gonna half-ass anything. Right. So any curriculum, like a lot of people don't understand what my school is, right? I have a brother that teaches at a school too. He's like, man, so what do you guys like? Nothing against my brother, but he's like, man, so what do you teach them? I'm like, them who? What are you talking about? He's like, like
not labeling,
because I don't use the R word at all. Like that's the worst thing you can probably say in front of me. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like algebra 1. We're doing algebra 1 in high school. Algebra 2. Yeah, some are doing calculus. Depends on where they're at.
What
and like people are tripping out. They're like, there's some students in my school that are smarter than some of the
teachers.
Man, sometimes some of them are talking about stuff. I'm like, what? How do you know that? But I mean, once they focus and fixate on something, they don't let it go. Like today we had the eclipse. So all the kids.
Oh, I bet that was a big thing today.
All the kids that are into the astrology.
To about noon or whatever.
Man, 10 o'clock to like 1.
Was it really?
Yeah, man, these kids are like the ones that like astrology like that, man. They're like telling me all kinds of facts I didn't know. They're like, did you know this happened? It's usually every 8 years, but I'm like, whoa, hey, calm down, man. I get it. You
smart and talented, man. Yeah,
and
soak up like a sponge. And again, again, autism wasn't around. God, maybe like 90s, late 90s, they started talking about it or bringing it up. But what do you think it goes back? I mean, I know it was there, but how far can you date it back to where they're physically doing what they're doing now?
I train, like I'm a trainer for Article 9, prevention and support, a bunch of different trainings, right? And one of the things I haven't watched is Willow Canyon. It's a documentary about how they used to do people with autism back in like I can't even remember the date. I have it on my computer actually. And it's in black and white. Matter of fact, what's his name? Waldo, whatever his name is. He's like the person doing the documentary, and they broke into like this.
Geraldo, you said Geraldo? Does that have to do with the mustache and shit?
Yeah.
Damn, man, that's old.
So
Mike, you know who he is. Do you really? On the thing, we pulled it on the screen. My daughter said it was black with a ring around it. I'm like, yes.
In Texas, it was.
That's what the ring is. I saw like Australian people. So, oh, this guy. Yeah, baby. See the aftermath. We gotta put the aftermath on there, man. Yeah, the clips was crazy, man.
Hey, by the way, all I'm saying is it's free promotion up here, and every one of our videos, every one of our shots and stuff. That's never not in a video on any set. That's all I'm saying. That's promotion right there, baby.
Right, we got it, man. We got guys that are signing up. Sweetie Styles wants to get in. We had Fat Fuck Trucking. You know those guys. We had
that's funny. Every time I hear that.
So, yeah, man. That's cool, man. And again, you guys are busy people, man. You got schooling that you do, 9 to 5, and you got, after hours things.
Even weekends, bro.
Home and low riding, and you're at the events, all the events, or multiple events during the days and stuff. So that's cool, man.
It's. I mean, going to all these events and doing these things is crazy because, like, I would love just to go to like the Lowrider events, but we do a bunch of events. So I go from being at a Lowrider event to being at a rap concert with I'm like, damn, I'm everywhere, man.
We at the dog. Yeah. They remind the dogs, which is a great show, man. That was crazy, man. Seeing all the dogs and all the things, and I stayed there all night.
Man, I didn't find a young lady for my stud, but
No. You got you one of them little funny dogs too?
No, I got a Cane Corso.
Oh, really? You got you one of them big ass dogs?
Yeah.
Man, there was some that were.
Yeah, they were huge, but they were all males. I don't need a male.
Yeah, that's what you got, a male.
Yeah.
That's the kind of dog I picture Mikey to have. Maybe like a Neapolitan Mastiff.
He got a Chihuahua. He got a wiener dog.
There you go, low and slow.
Oh, he got a German Shepherd too. Me and that dog don't get along. Black people don't really like German Shepherds. They cop dogs.
He said they're cop dogs.
You don't want me to come to your house and get a German Shepherd.
German Shepherd. There you go. That keeps them at bay. There you go. Man, yeah, we got a few things.
Flashbacks.
Like oh shit. He said he bringing up those. They didn't ride. We don't ride.
I don't even pet that dog.
Yeah, I don't even pet that dog.
And then they gonna have to know the name it Coco. That's a black name.
Yeah. You got a dog named Coco. German Shepherd named Coco. Oh yeah. I call
her Santa's little helper.
Can I see that dog? I don't think I see that dog. Can I pet that dog? I didn't see that dog at your house.
Oh, it was there.
It was there.
They don't be in the house when I'm in the house.
That's good.
They come in, I leave. That's how I know he want me to leave his house. Let the dogs in. I'm like,
stretch and
kid that little lock. Pablo though, but he do got a African American dog. Pablo's a thug. Got a gold chain and shit.
Pablo's a wiener dog. Dash hound.
Right. Same thing, I guess. I don't know.
Little dog.
It's the little dog. Remember that cartoon?
Got a full name with a middle name and hyphenated, man. Damn.
He got a birth certificate.
Damn. That's cool, man.
Try to claim him on my taxes.
So, man, yeah, next week, man, I'm going to be out of town. Not unfortunate, but fortunately, I'll be in the, the humidity weather out there in Florida.
Man.
So we're going to go live, try to record live, get details how to do that for these guys out here.
And your boy Scrap was trying to get me to go out there. He's like, man, you should just show up.
We got room, man. We got room in the car, man.
Hey,
jump in and call a vacation at work.
I got a lot of vacation time. I don't take time off. I could probably take the rest of the year off. I'm just saying, I don't got no money. You got all my money already.
All you need is again, we family. So as long as you got a roof and a ride there, again, we going. So you might as well just say, hey man, you guys are going there. I might as well just jump in. And then when we get to the house, we actually got a house. We got a little small one, but they always got a couch.
Oh man, I don't sleep on worse.
You know what I'm saying? You're welcome, man. If you was trying to go and you're capable of going, man, have you been to Florida?
No, I've never been to Florida.
Never have I. So they said I've been to California. You know, it's a great place.
I've been all the West Coast places.
You know, yeah, same here. They're like, don't take Levi's.
So like,
what? To Florida?
Well, I can't wear no 501s.
You're gonna sweat your ass off. Supposedly the humidity is like horrible.
I couldn't even live there, messing up the crease in my pants.
There you go. Yeah. Hey man, and the ocean is free, man. So how you spending money at a free place is free.
Oh yeah, you know. Hey, when I was younger, I learned to swim in San Diego in the ocean. Like that's where I learned to swim at. That's where we were living. And then now that I get older, I get further and further back. When I was little, I used to be out there going under the waves and shit, touching the buoys out there.
Paddling like this is not swimming, man. That's surviving, man.
I can swim.
That's surviving.
Like I can swim. I can actually swim. I just don't like the seaweed touching me, and I don't know what the hell's in that ocean. So count me out.
I was telling Mike how I swam in the ocean, and I did my little thing until the water got warm, and the guy was like, "This is sharks." So I hurried up and swam my ass. Cold.
When we got back on land, I'd have whooped his ass. Don't take me. See,
we're in the ocean though, man. That is not unpredictable, man. You don't really know what's even out there. That's uncharted place.
And that's why Darrell Leonte don't get into the water like that.
That's like space, man. That's like space.
I was
gonna say there ain't no pools in the projects, but we.
Hell no. Even when there is a pool in the projects, we ain't getting in. We just gonna sit there and look at all the girls in bikinis. Like, hey, you getting in there for real? Yeah, ain't getting in no damn water. Girl.
Oh, now the eyelashes. When you see eyelashes floating everywhere, like damn.
Hey, I had to educate some young women in my job about the eyelashes. I said, you know where them came from, right? What they call them, right?
They don't know.
Oh,
they were
upset at me when I told them
because they came from a working lady.
Oh yeah,
apparently, right?
Rosie the Riveter.
Am I there? And they were only for a reason because a certain object got shot at the face.
Yeah, C
and
people.
They were blocking.
We would call him C-man.
C-man, huh?
Yeah.
We ain't talking about the name.
So, you know what I mean? When I told them, they thought I was lying. They're
blockers. They were blockers, so they wouldn't get an eye infection. Again, I'm an educated guy, but I've heard
that's
stories.
That's the story.
You know, right?
Man. And I was tripping. I said, yeah, how you not know that? But you keep going into you let somebody put that on it, so that's what you do, right? I ain't never doing that.
Now they know.
You like
Joe said, knowing it half the battle,
man. Man, just like you showing up acting like a security guard or in a security guard uniform and somebody go to you for help. You're like, I ain't no damn security. Well, you got security guard uniform on. I assumed you was a securody guard.
There you go. I know we got a commercial, man, and we're gonna have to shoot on for the commercial guys going on here. So yeah, rock and get all our guys to promote. We back.
Oh, I can't be dancing on this.
There you go. You gotta get the groove on. Welcome to Live Ride. You know what I'm saying? We're doing our little thing tonight with our special teacher guest right here, man. Boss man himself. You know,
hey man,
this is Awareness Month. You know, and
autism
it's a whole month, dedicated to autism and making on the. I love the puzzle piece. You know, and when there's a puzzle, I'm gonna get one tattooed for my nephew. You know what I mean? I'm getting a puzzle piece. You know, I got my nephew on there, man. And it's something that you know, again, it's
a lifestyle. Like how Lowrider is a lifestyle. This community is a lifestyle. This community is big. They're positive. They always help out.
You guys have walks. You guys have
we do autism.
You know, you guys
walks,
have
all that.
All kind of events. You know, what I mean,
all that. Yes, sir. Man,
fundraisers and stuff like that. Tournaments, basketball games, stuff like that.
Our school ourselves, we hold a fall festival every year. We have Kona Ice come out.
Nice. Love Kona
every
Ice.
month, every other month. Oh yeah. Man, we do so. Oh yeah, we're always invited.
Really?
Yeah, we invited last year.
We can make it happen, man. Again, I know the kids love the cars, and to see them watch those cars do what they can do, they're amazed too. You know, you have a hopper out there and a couple of jumps.
Some of my students,
you know, it's great.
Some of my student parents have cars.
Nice.
And they're solo riders. They're not in the club or nothing. They're just solo riders. They drive to pick up the students, and I'm always talking to them and like talking. They're like, "Hey man, like, dang, that's tight. That's what you do." And so I see them at the shows and stuff. And then but those are like, I wouldn't say the cooler parents, but they're just the parents that they're just out there, man. Like I don't been to some shows and seen them hella faded. I'm like, whoa, and they bump in like, I'll be there. They be like, oh, it's my son's too. I'm like, nah, hey, no judgment here.
Everybody's human, man. Again, I know we got ignorant people out there, like we call them, so ignorant people that, you know, make assumptions or, you know, this and that. But it's like, man, you never done this. You never, if you're at some kind of function where, again, it's a lowrider thing or adult beverages or solar or whatnot, you know what I mean? And you run into people that you're, you know, and, you know, out of work. Again, that's 9 to 5. You know what I mean? You do have a life after. So sometimes it's hard for people to, you know, again, that's like being a lawyer or president. I mean, a president, and being out there at a place where, oh shit, they just show titties, and now you're labeled as that teacher. You know
so
I mean? We've seen some teachers on the news recently. You know, they weren't.
That's what I'm trying to
say. It's kind of hard
to stay away from that.
That's a different story there. You know, when they're intentionally doing something that's gonna cause anything that's gonna not to hurt the kid physically, mentally, that doesn't, just because it's not physical, you doing something, taking a picture of a kid without them being aware of that and them knowing,
that's illegal, by the way.
And it's very illegal. But just the kid doesn't know what that person's intentions are. If they're gonna keep it for themselves, if they're gonna put it on the internet right now is a big thing. Social media is a big thing for some of these kids.
That's actually like if you work in a school setting and you post pictures of your students like against, like, you don't have that waiver signed, because some of these parents
sign a waiver.
Some of these parents sign a waiver to where you can't take pictures or post it on nothing. Not even our
I know I got
website.
A letter. So they wanted to use my daughter in
they have to ask you for that.
Yeah, in like a what was it? It was a calendar for one of the schools. It was just opening up in Avondale, and we were there.
That's dope. You know, hey man, see,
it's a permission thing, but man, it's you guys got some rules and regulations.
Oh, there is.
Some are more stricter. As far, you're probably not saying more stricter, but it's different. It's different. It's not the same as a regular high school, where these kids intentionally know the shit that they're doing is not right, and they're gonna do it regardless. And sometimes these guys don't know, but again, sometimes these guys do know, and they use to get away. You know,
I would say like our high school students and our more high functioning students, they know exactly what they're doing. Like some of the text messages and some stuff I have to go and research and get into. I'm like, well, you said that? And like in my head, I'm like, dang, this, like they be talking I was like, hey man, you probably go to Maryville, man. You
go to Maryville.
Like,
I mean, the car hating real quick, man. You're like, good enough to go.
A lot, and then like I got students that, like, if they're pushed the wrong way, like if you think you're just gonna tell them anything and they're just gonna take that, like you're gonna be in a real fight, and they can fight. Like I don't broke up some fights. Like, ooh, he was whooping. Ooh, God. I don't know what to tell the parent. Like, he conduct.
I treat them all the same. I treat everybody the way I wanted to be treated. But as far as them, my nephew, I never treated him any different, and that's why he loves me I'm that uncle.
They can tell that, man.
My brother that's no longer here with us, kind of keeps things in a bubble. You know what I mean? He everything is I'm the more open uncle. You know,
I figure as a parent that's hard to accept, man. Like I mean, I thank God that all my children are healthy
Fully,
and everything's fine.
right.
But I mean, I can only imagine being a parent, and then I don't want anyone to look at me or my child differently. And then, like depending on where you live and the background you come from, you're now that's another thing added to how people view you.
Right.
So I treat all the kids the same. Like,
yeah, man, I'm telling you, so I have a Can-Am. We went out to the desert, rained the night before, so I'm hauling ass on this Can-Am doing like 70, right? I do a turn, we flip like 3 times.
roll cage.
I roll cage, seatbelts, harness, everything was all
straight.
good. We ended up upside down with water, puddle of water under us, right? So right away, I write, Sonny, are you good? And I'm thinking he's
probably laughing.
Dude, yeah. Uncle, that was freaking awesome. And I'm just like, no, that wasn't. Hey. My heart's going 1,000 miles an hour, and this dude thinks it was the greatest thing in the world.
That was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I got in trouble. Once we had to tell my brother, and then he explained it to my sister-in-law. I got in trouble. I'm like, Sonny, I told you we gonna get in trouble. But you know what I mean? It was like,
but that's why you're the cool uncle for that.
Hey, I'm the uncle, man. I'm that again. I love like with my dude Ian. You know what I mean? I wish he would have came, man, because great dude, great personality. Like, it's those people you want them people to meet, and you want them all to think like another Ian, another Sonny, another
man.
Those and you always have those ignorant ass people that choose not to conversate. Choose not to intermingle. Choose not. They just, again, no disrespect to them if they don't. We don't need them.
See,
if, doing what they don't need to do.
We go on field trips a lot, right? So when I'm out and I catch people, because I hear everything, and I catch people like side eyeing, or they have or they turn their face up. Okay, well, this is where my class. We sitting here today. This is where we at.
Right, yeah.
And when people get like attitudes, like I don't have like random people like, hey man, whatever. And I'm like, hey man. They have autism. Just calm down. I'm sorry that whatever, but this is, and they got a problem. I'm the first person, and I mean, I hope hey, I'm sorry if y'all hear this. Hey, look, I'm the first person to take off my work badge and be like, "I'll whoop your ass." Like, what are you talking about? Like, I get that aggressive, like just like that. I'm like, hey man, calm down. If you can't accept the fact and understand that, I can help you understand.
It's those that don't have anyone in their family, or again, it's those that choose not to know them. They choose. Now, again, man, be a person that you're supposedly whatever you're supposed to be, and treat everybody. I treat everybody again the same, man. Equal 100.
Anytime someone apologizes to you on behalf of something, like if my kid did something wrong and I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry this happened. I can make it better I'll pay whatever, and you still get aggressive. That's when I become aggressive. Right. Like, hey, look, we okay. Then what are you trying to do? Like I tried to say, I'm sorry, man. If he broke something, I'll pay for it, or we can whatever. And then you still like, yeah, but nah. And okay, this is what we ain't gonna do. And then that's when I'm a whole nother person.
That's a respect. That's a big respect to you guys, man, because it's a task. It's hard. How long you been doing this now?
Ah, man.
Full time?
Yes. Probably since 2012.
Nice, man.
Before that, I worked. I was like a supervisor at a group home, so I've always worked. And those
that's a different.
Well, some of them had
aspect right there.
Some had autism, and some were just like.
Was the behavioral health?
It was both of them. It was both. Oh, okay. So one side of the house some had autism, and then one side of the house they were just like bad animals.
Behavioral health,
and they'd be beating up the staff and stuff.
Wow.
Like, and then how I got into this is because I went to drop one of my students off at school, and when I got there, I came like 2 years. I was coming, and like one day, like one of the teachers like, hey man, like you work real well with him. Like, you ever thought about teaching? I'm like, nah, man. And then they was like, well, I'm like, well, money, a second job, I'm down. And then I just worked the summer. And then from the summertime, I'm like, hey, this is dope. Like, okay. So I did it full time, and I was a teacher assistant. And then from there, man, I just kept moving. I'm like, okay, I want to do this. Oh man, I want to do this. And I just started going to school, and I went to be an OT. Well, first I went to school to be a physical therapist, and then I went to school to be an OT.
Nice. And then
I got into the behavioral side of it. Yeah. And then after that, like when I stopped to look at what I was doing, I was so far into it. I was like, I'm like, oh, this this is my career. Like I didn't even realize. I'm like, oh, this is my career. This is what I do. Like I got family members now. They ain't
Man, when I found out you was a teacher, I was like, what? I'm like, there's no fucking way this guy's a teacher. I thought you was a drug dealer, man. They lived in South Phoenix somewhere by the mountain.
And you was like,
holy shit, man. That's gang banging on us, man. What's up, cuz? I was like, holy shit.
Wrong one. I would have been the other one. Yeah. But see, hey, look, I have a life, man. I was, hey, man, like I was fortunate enough to turn my life around. Like I have a big brother that went to prison for like 20 years, and then
I have it too. My same here. I have a firefighter brother that was here, and then a brother that did some stuff here. So my
little brother got 25 to life. Like my uncle is my dad. Like so. I mean, it was either do this or do this, and I was in the middle. And then you
don't do that.
I'm in the middle. And then like my uncle, he was a coach for Carl Hayden, South Mountain. He coached at almost every school. Alhambra. He's like, one day I'm talking to him. He's like, hey man, you can't have one foot in, one foot out. Like you either gonna get your shit together, or you gonna be like. And I'm like, damn. And then I start thinking about football numbers.
Do you ever explain that to the kids? Have you ever had a conversation like that with the kids?
I do. Some of them.
I know some of them sit there and they're like, man, sir, I didn't,
like it's,
because some have different.
Some
have it rough, man.
Some of these students,
it's
man.
Not what you think,
I don't. I check backpacks. Like if you end up having to come to a part of the, like if I have to see you on a daily basis, that means you high risk, high behavior.
Yeah.
I don't found some different things that that you would think like wouldn't be at my school because we're a school for
environment is.
But I mean you don't.
They all again. Man, social media is a big thing. I know some of them on social media. Some of them computer savvy, like crazy on the computer.
Heck yeah, hackers.
They're talented, man.
They change passwords on the computers and the internet all the time. Like there's some like look. If what I would tell you, man, if one of these students make a threat towards you,
take it serious.
If you don't, you can be. I don't care if it's whatever school it's at. I take everything serious. Or if you tell me you're gonna do this the next day, I'll believe me. I mean you I'll go pick you up and check your bag before, after, all that, because it's serious. And it's been some close encounters in my time, man. I don't have some. I'm like, man, this could have been like, and they bent on that. I can't say it was for me, but they were mad at somebody, like what I mean,
random.
So that's why I'm cool with all the kids. I get kicked out of classrooms because as soon as I come into the classroom, everybody turn up. Oh, the Jarrell's here. I'm like, hey man, I'm just coming to do. I'm like, but if I get called,
it's known, but it's a serious. It's
only when I get called. If I walk in randomly, everybody's happy. But if you hear over the radio, like, hey, so and so to room 1 or cash to who, they like, oh man. So as soon as I come in, everybody's looking straight.
Yeah, it changes.
Nobody says nothing. So I mean, I don't like being like that, and sometimes I catch staff like, oh, if you don't do this, I'm gonna call Mr. Darrell, and I have to pull them to the side like, hey,
don't do that.
I'll write you up for that. Don't use me as a punishment. I'm not a punishment, man. I'm in here chilling. Like I just want to make sure everything flows.
And they think that helps, man. They think by threatening
only thing that does
somebody else, man, is not good.
It just breaks their respect for you, so they don't respect
look at
you.
Different, I got a son that's backstage here that has the communication thing wrong. And I'm like, son, he's got that rebuttal every time to where it's, okay, you did this wrong, Well, I know I did, but, and it's like, no, shut up. Sit there and listen.
That's a hard thing. My daughter's going through that right now, man. I'm telling her, she's like, but hey, look, first of all, if you start with but, you can't start a sentence with but.
Right.
So don't even, once you answer me back, it better be a clear answer. If you but me, but what? I don't understand, but.
Listen, Dad?
Man, I don't understand. I don't understand, but it's all about how you like. I don't let my son's 20, and he called me one day like, bro. I'm like, did you bro me? Like, come to my house. He's like, no, Dad, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, don't bro me. None of the students, nobody, man. There's a line of respect you have to draw, and I don't care. Like, don't butt me, don't bro me, don't what me, don't do none of that because I don't know. If you what, you can hear. So if I say something, you like what? Oh, come here.
Yeah.
I
got it hard, man. I got a little guy that my son actually works for me, so it's hard to be the dad and the boss, and still I've already threatened a few times with like, dude, not saying if you want somebody else, but I'm just letting you know, I would have fired you for that shit.
Ah,
Like,
man.
you know what I mean? Like, you'd be working somewhere else flipping burgers or something right now.
I don't fire two
you
of my
know,
nephews.
I
Two of my
fired a
nephews.
cousin and uncle.
Man,
You know what I mean?
like,
I had to walk them to the office. Once you get that walk to the office, it's probably not good. You know, it's like
some of the staff there, like the admin staff, I mean, they be like tripping on me because I don't give no, like, if you come to my job and I get you a job in my job, and if you fuck up one time, I'm over it. Like, hey man, he no call, no show, bye. They're like, are you for real? No, I don't care. Like, I don't play. No, I go harder on you because you represent me once you come here. This is my career. Like, so if I get you a job here and you miss, man, okay, don't bother. Don't bother. Call me, hey uncle. I ain't your uncle. Not at work anyway. After work, what's up, nephew? What's up? You know what I mean? But hey, don't make me look stupid.
Right.
I work too hard for you to just come and play with what I do.
So we got the awareness stuff going, man. I want to line up. Right, this is new to me. Like we were talking to the crew back there, trying to get them lined up and people set in and locked in and promotion and get this going. Because I really didn't think we'd be where we'd be at as far as we'll be on the show. I know you guys do the Wednesday thing, and we branched out, and you got the different shows, Adele's. You got her show over here. We got all kind of shows.
Man,
so this is like a movement right now for you guys, man. You guys started something that's grown into, man, it was this. And did you guys think this would be where it would be at right now?
Man, I thought it would be something great. I knew it would be something great. But this guy right here never sleeps.
He doesn't. I see it. I see it, man.
We have this going on, and then I'll be like, hey man, what's going on? And he'll hit me like, you need to get to the house. We got this and this and this and this and this and this to go over. And you got.
And he works at 9 to 5 because I do know where this man works at also.
Yeah,
like I know a couple of his employees too that work with him. So.
It's hard if you can't like. I know it don't look like he jog a lot, but if you ain't in shape to jog mentally, then you just
he's
here.
He's back on that leg, no brace. No, I don't see no brace.
Man,
brace on. He's hiding the brace.
Between him and Chris, man, like just keeping up with that race, that mental race of okay, this is happening on top of my regular job. Like, I'm like, okay, sometimes I can't compute. I'm like, hey man, y'all gotta slow down. I was like, and then they like, man, there ain't no damn excuse. Like, get it together or get lost. I'm like, well, you know what? Quacky dacky.
Lowrider's doing it, man. And I know we got some things coming up for the sponsors and stuff like that. You guys are collaborating on things for more sponsors to come, and it's getting bigger. More sponsors. And bigger,
we got a
you
new
can
show.
end up having to turn this into a full-time thing, man. Mike,
it is. That works.
Full time.
Man, that's the plan, man. I mean, this is the job. Like, if you don't treat it like a job, you treat it like a hobby. Good thing I like my hobbies and jobs.
Right. You guys do it. You guys are everywhere. People know who you are. You're in the community. You guys brought me into this, which we're bringing. We're bringing all the awarenesses.
I be seeing you everywhere. I didn't even expect to see you Saturday. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here?
I'm there. To get respect from the other people, you have to show. Respect.
That's my mind. That's how I feel.
You know what I'm saying? You want them to be a part of what you got going on. You need to be a part of what they got going on.
Yeah,
every community's big, man.
Every once in a while, you'll catch me out solo dolo. I
got you solo a few times.
They everybody do their own thing. Like he be, man. This edit, he does a lot of stuff, man. So I'm like, well, shit. If he's doing all that, at least I could do a show up to these events and wear my shirt and be like, hey, yeah, I'm here.
You're a part of it.
Don't be asking me about no upcoming episode though. Not right now.
But it's fun, man. Like I said, this is a fun thing. It's turning out great. I'm glad to be a part of it with you guys. I'm honored to be a part of it with you guys, man. You guys are making this big.
I appreciate that. We're glad to have you a part of this, man. It's a unit, man.
Yeah, I remember where it started from. You know what I mean? I remember the first few shows, and
shit, if you'd have came to the damn show, we'd have been in the garage with one man. We was doing the shit. And all of a sudden, the one day we like, okay, now we about to go. We got an interview coming on, blah, blah, blah. We got set up in my garage. I open the garage and shit. We chilling. It's a nice day outside. These motherfuckers want to start doing lawn care and roofing and shit. I'm like, oh, what in the hell? Like, we had everything set up. And then they, man, you over here cutting trees and shit. Like, what? You ain't did this shit all year. It was tough.
Man. But again, I'm glad to be part of the show. You know, Lowrider Aftermath is. I'll be in Florida next week, Monday. So we're gonna work on collaborating how to get. I don't know how it's gonna be a broadcast live here. We might have to let you guys run the show or postpone it for that night, or record something and then pre-broadcast this.
So you're gonna be out there for next Monday, right?
I'll be out there. Yes, next Monday. So I'll be leaving. I'll be headed home. So the show is Saturday.
Are you driving?
Picnic. Yeah, we're driving 31 hours, man.
All right, well, don't drive during the time of your show. We're gonna call you.
I'm passenger, man. I'll be in the
oh yeah, well, seat, man. We could definitely go live.
Yeah, passenger princess.
Hey, you driving?
I put my feet up. Yeah.
Dang.
We got three drivers, man. So we're doing it straight. We're doing it 31 hours. We're going straight.
You driving too?
No. We got George, my VP. With the
I'm about to say you is big enough.
And we're pulling 2 Harleys, man. So we're riding.
Dang,
that's we leave tomorrow, man. After my daughter's softball game, can't miss the softball game.
Hell yeah.
So still got.
What school you play for?
Glendale. You come on, Glendale, baby. Ain't you Glendale? I'm a Panther.
Of course I'm a Glendale.
I'm
a Cardinal.
We from the Vale, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I was mad that I went there not too long ago. They ain't have my name up in there no more in the gym. I'm like,
see, my name is still on the wall at Maryville in the back.
2 innings the last game he was at.
Really?
Fucking dope.
Man, I got a niece that play a Challenger, and I got another niece that play. I don't know where the hell she play at, but they're in 8th grade though. But man, that's tight.
Yeah. So man, we got the show. There's room on the wall, like you said. So all you people that watching, man, we need to get you guys on the board and get you up here to sponsorships and all that. So again, I appreciate
that way y'all ain't got to hear me talk all day.
Yeah,
man.
I appreciate Rick stepping in tonight and putting it up there. But again, I'm glad he
was tough.
The autism shirt on, and
I was cold.
Yeah, I saw him, man. You'll see him Wednesday. He's gonna be a whole different man.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? But I'm appreciative that he did this tonight with us.
Y'all just got a whole shot of me with only 4 cuss words.
Right?
It's tough.
Hey, I think I maybe threw 1 or 2 in there, but that's a different. I learned coaching Mighty Mike football. You know what I'm saying? And you can't say, "Oh, you fucking fucked up." No. You can't tell a little.
You can't say that no more.
5-year-old, yeah. Maybe at home.
I tell all the 5-year-olds that.
You know what I mean? I say you're a dumbass person if you cannot. Switch up words.
Look, I didn't even say the N-word on this show.
Right. No, you
didn't. And that's a part of my vocabulary.
But proper, everybody got that switch. You smart in that range. Again, that's like the kids with the autism. Don't let them fool you because they
call me that all the time,
man.
You know how many times I get called that a day?
Yeah. So again, I appreciate you on the show, man. Live Rider, he stepped in. Made a big thing for us tonight because we would have been right here just.
I appreciate you letting me come on here and spin my ism.
Yeah.
That we're gonna call it.
That's what we're here for, man. On a Monday. So.
That was dope.
Thank you guys.
I guess I should sign the board now since you got me on your show.
You got to sign the board. We got the tank out there so I can re-sign the board all pretty.
Nah, that's yours. That's Hankomania.
Yeah, that's as high as I got.
Everybody's been asking too. I'm like, that's where you can reach at. Why y'all? No, you did. I was holding it.
We got video.
I see you, man. You guys got some more artwork on there too on the walls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we brought a gift for the wall too. It'll be up here soon.
I gotta put that right over yonder. That is dope. So, as much as
thank you for tonight, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir.
Oh man, thank you for tonight and the vehicle.
Yep. Oh yeah. The vehicle is always there, man. It ain't going nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Autism's a big thing. We got the month to go through, and we'll have some more guests.
My birthday this month too, so. It's always a good month.
And I believe you guys got Johnny Bowtie's family on Wednesday, right? So after that, I got to talk to Johnny, get him on here for his niece or their family member's niece, and then there's a few things we're gonna get on here.
Hey man, shout out to John. Johnny is dope, bro. Like every time I see him, it's always open arms, man. That dude's so down to earth, man.
Yeah, they're good people, man. So again, thank you, sir.